welcome to Live to the Fullest. We've often heard the statement, forget the past and move on. In my mind, in my opinion, I think it's complete BS. As you know, in more refined language, it is bad motivational advice. And allow me to explain, before we think that, oh my God, what is she saying? We've all heard about this, forget the past, move on, don't dwell in the past, look forward, let's go forward, let's move on. And I think the intention behind that statement is absolutely correct. That yes, we have to move forward, we have to look forward, we have to plan ahead, we can't be dwelling in the past. However, it's not just deciding that, okay, I'll forget the past and move on, that will do the trick. Just simply believing that or deciding that is unfortunately not enough. And I'll explain why that is so. The reason why we cannot forget the past is, first of all, that in order to forget something, you have to remember what you have to forget, right? And if we see how our brain works and what neuroscience explains us, is that whatever we have experienced so far in our lives, from childhood, in terms of our experiences, in terms of what people have told us, all of that input that we have received, it gets stored in our subconscious brain, our subconscious mind. And it is not really possible to delete a memory. It is possible, however, to dilute a memory or dilute the past. So when we have something that is emotionally intense, if something has happened in childhood or something has been repetitively told to us, or we've seen something day in and day out, especially in our childhood, what happens is that it forms a program in the brain. Of course, this is such a deep topic. I mean, it's one of my favorite topics and very relevant to self-help and self-improvement. But I'll keep it brief for this video, and maybe in our future series, there can be a full series on just this topic, on how programs and how subconscious mind works and how wiring works and what is neuroplasticity. But to keep it brief and focused on how to forget the past, all we have to understand is that we cannot delete anything. There are programs that get formed in our brains in our childhood based on what our experiences have been and based on what has been repetitively told to us. The truth of the matter is that negative or positive, whatever has been provided to us in our childhood, either with huge emotional intensity or with a lot of repetition, will get recorded as a program in the brain, and it becomes a part of our belief system, which becomes part of our attitude and our thinking, and eventually impacts our decision making in our adulthood also. So when we say that we want to forget the past, or maybe forget something negative about the past, there is a method to the madness. Just simply deciding it won't do it. There has to be some techniques that has to be applied in order to do that. It's absolutely possible. I have done it for my own life, not in a massive way, but in ways that were important to me, and I have seen those changes. But we have to understand that there is a method to the madness, and it can be done. We can fill in our mind with new input using techniques, using scientifically proven techniques, and replace our old patterns or old habits that we are trying to change, or old belief systems that we want to change. We can change it to a new belief system and new attitude and a new way to look at life. So what is that secret weapon or tool that can help us dilute the past and replace it with positive? Drum rolls, please. Very unexpected, but the award goes to self-talk or positive affirmations. I mean, they're the same thing. We usually use positive affirmations outside, but I will be using it as self-talk throughout the video. Some of you might find this surprising, that what? Affirmations? That will help me replace the past with positive? Probably that. Let's explore that in our video. I think this is an extremely relevant and important topic that I have used for several years. Of course, I've refined it over the years. I have used it for my all areas of life. I've used it for health, I've used it for finances, I've used it for uh, uh, my own self freedom and growth. And is my life perfect? Absolutely not. Is it where I should be? No. But is it better than what it would have been without self-talk? Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. It is a huge step forward in self-help and self-improvement. I think it's one of the most powerful tools. Self-talk and visualization. I think these two are my favorite.
In fact, I also offer a free cheat sheet that you can download from my website, liveToTheFullest.net. It's a free ebook that has all these ready to use affirmations. They're in a very simplified format, and I have divided them into different categories based on the different spokes of life, like fitness and faith and finances and family and friends. I call them the 5 F's. And these are affirmations that I have actually personally used for myself. Of course, I've refined it for the ebook so that everybody can use it and it's more generic. But it's extremely powerful, and it is something that is tried and tested. So, this is something that you can download from my website. Once you sign up, you will get this as a PDF that you can download and read. Do you have personal examples where you have used affirmations consciously? Let me know in the comment section below.
One of the most relevant books for this, and it's one of my all-time favorite books, and I think very important for anybody who is looking to, you know, have some kind of self-improvement in their life, not just folks who are trying to heal themselves from a particular abuse or traumatic experience. It's applicable to anyone and everyone who wants to cultivate a new habit. Maybe they want to replace an old habit with a new habit. Is my favorite book of all time. What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. This is by Dr. Shad Humsletter. He is a psychologist, and this book is a very old book. I would say at least maybe 15-20 years ago is, I think it was published the first time. And this is one of the most revolutionary books on the topic of affirmations and how programming works and how our subconscious mind works. It can be a little bit technical, but it's not as technical as another of my favorite books, Psycho-Cybernetics. One of the key elements that I learned from this book was that it doesn't matter really whether you believe in something or not. But if you are getting that input or stimulation again and again and again, it really doesn't matter whether you believe in it or not. It's going to impact and it's going to create a program accordingly. So if someone in your childhood is constantly telling you you're a bad person, or you're so lazy, oh, you're so passive, or you're good for nothing, or a positive statement like you're awesome at mathematics, or you are an amazing singer, you sing really well, whether you believe it or not, if you are getting it on a repetitive basis, especially if it has higher emotional intensity, it will get recorded in the brain and become a program eventually. So that is one of the most powerful weapons that we have when we want to change our habit. The key thing is, if you want to cultivate a new habit, it doesn't matter whether you believe you can do that new thing or not. If you train your mind, if you use the techniques that the book talks about, you will be able to cultivate the new habit. And that's good news, right? So there's bad news and good news associated with the same thing. It just depends on how we want to use it. We have briefly understood how programs work, how they get formed in childhood, and how we are carrying it forward. And when we reach our adulthood and we start introspecting and we realize that, life is not going the way we wanted it to, that's when we start looking for ways to self-improve and change our habits or cultivate new habits. And we are constantly battling this, that I have this new idea or new way that I'm going to live my life, but our programs we have good programs and we have bad programs, and our bad programs are like those shackles and those weights that we are carrying with us. And we want to get rid of them, but just having the thought that, okay, let me get rid of it, doesn't get rid of it. That's when affirmations come into the picture. And it is relevant for everyone, like I said, because they're such powerful tools. It is relevant for anyone, for any field that they are, any sphere of life that they are trying to improve. It's not just for healing and recovery from abuse. It's healing and improving for anyone. If you like what we discussed today, like and subscribe to the channel, and you will be notified every time we have a new discussion. That's all for today. See you next time.